In this session, we will look at SKUs. We will see what SKUs are, why they are important, and how to use them. We will go through what is an SKU, the importance of SKU, the SKU referencing system, how to build up a SKU referencing system. We'll look at the SKU description briefly, and finally, what steps we have to take to implement a SKU referencing system. SKU stands for Stock Keeping Unit. It is a unit of measure of all the pieces of your inventory, which can be called with the same name or description and can be stored together. It is for internal use and equivalent to a product code, a part number, a product name, an item identification number. However, it is not a barcode, although it can be linked to it in your system. So what is an SKU? This code is generally used to identify a product and its flow, to track the inventory and standardize, to link all its attributes and specifications, to track inventory costs, to identify the product location, among other data. The creation of this code is entirely up to you, your industry, and the type of information you want it to provide. The importance of SKU. So why are they so important? They provide an easier identification of products for you and for others, and therefore improve productivity. They create a standardization across the whole system to convey info quickly and improve stock management. They segregate various categories and subcategories by sorting and filtering. It helps standardize analysis and management decision-making by fostering quality control and management. It limits recorded duplicates and entry errors, which ultimately improves client satisfaction. Here is an example of SKU reference. It references the features or attributes of the product, such as color, size, or manufacturer, and being very particular. Here's another example, where they start by a very general view and go down to specific attributes, from brand to type of item, to more specific attributes, such as the size or the color. Understanding a SKU referencing system. Again, the SKU referencing system should be adapted to your organization. As there is no one-size-fits-all, you need to build it. You need to weigh your constraints and processes and your structure to construct the pattern. It should be of help, but keep it simple and agile. You need to design your own so it is adapted. And finally, keep it short, between 8 to 12 characters. For example, in a spare part management system inventory, an adapted way to doing it could be having a budget owner or the department paying for the part, a category of product giving global information on type of product, whether the part should be repairable, a consumable, or exchangeable, and an incremental number or code to identify the line item and based on the category of the product. This is only an example, and other ways to build it can be found. SKU references can therefore be built with various information, depending on your objectives, what you want the item SKU to provide, and the structure of your company. Other information can be category or even subcategory, like tools, consumables, spare parts, or even more detailed categories like bolts and screws. Location of storage, even more detailed features of the item for differentiation, like gender or size, the brand, the budget owner, or the supplier or manufacturer, among other details. So, how would you build up your reference? Here is, following our previous example of SKU model, the way it was built. First, define a list of categories, subcategories, or actions in our case, for which products are ordered or stocked. Then create codification for each of them. But be careful not to create too many categories, which can then become overwhelming and a source of errors. Then, build your references for each line item. In this table, you can see better the keys to building your referencing system. Here are some tips on best practices. You need to be consistent. Stick to one way of referencing your parts. Consistency is key to keep a standard. It generally goes from general to specific. You start with the brand or the type of product, then go down to specific features. Avoid using letters looking like numbers, for example, O, which looks like 0, or I, which looks like 1. Do not use spaces or special characters. Always use capital letters, as using different small letters may confuse the search of the reference in your system. And always have a number at the end for incrementation and to make sure each reference is unique. How would you go about building an SKU description? First, it would generally go from general to specific. It should be detailed enough to be unique. We do not want to have two SKU references with the same description to avoid confusion. Only include what describes the item in absolute terms, which do not change. It should allow for better filtering and quick recognition of the part. So where should you start the process if you already have an inventory but no SKU reference? First, extract a catalog of items. You better start with active items or items in stock and filter out inactive ones. No need to spend time in referencing parts you are not using and will never use anymore. Create lists of items to be physically reviewed during inventory audit. Create your referencing system as explained and assign references to each item. Create new stock cards and change your old ones. And finally, create a process to factor for non-referenced items coming into your stock. It might be the perfect time to combine that effort with a Kanban system in order to improve your inventory management efficiency. Find out more about the Kanban on our website, as that has been the subject of another video.